Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me in class on Monday. So I wanted to put together this little video just so you can, keep up with your crocheting, and yeah, so hopefully this will help you out a little bit. So the first thing we're going to start with is our slip knot, and that's how we'll get started on every project. So what we're going to do is we put our hand like this. And we'll take our yarn. You have that little tail that we see right there. And we'll put that yarn on the inside of our fingers. Then we'll clamp it down right there with our thumb. Then we're going to do a loop and a half around our fingers. We'll do one loop all the way around, and then a half loop so the yarn is in the back, like this. So what we're going to do is we'll create a little loop on this side, and we'll put that loop through the hole so we get our slip knot, just like so. And I'll show it to you again. We'll take our tail and we'll wrap it around our fingers. We'll put it on the inside of our fingers. Hold that tail with your thumb. And we'll do one big wrap around our fingers. And another half wrap. Then we will loop through this side. And pull it through. So once you have your slip knot, you can start your chains for your project. Every crochet project will start with chains. So we're just going to be working on a straight line today. So for your chain, you're going to put your slip knot right on your crochet hook. So you don't want it too tight. You want it to be able to wiggle around a little bit. And I like to have my hands like this. I like my pointer finger to go in front of the yarn and the yarn to go in front of those rest of the fingers. It's kind of like this. Okay, and then I will grab onto the tail just for a little bit of security in those first couple chains. So when you're going to do your chain, you're going to bring your hook towards yourself, and you're going to grab on to that yarn. And when you've got that yarn in that hook, you're just going to do a little turn so it goes right through the loop. Do that a few more times to show you. So you're going to take your hook, you're going to bring it close to your body and underneath the yarn. Then you're going to take that yarn and you're going to hook onto it and you're going to pull it through the loop that's on your hook. You should always just keep that one loop on the hook unless there's something fancy in a pattern, but you're not quite there yet. And you'll start to see the tail is starting to get the chains. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to create a chain of tail of chains right now. So we've got pulling our hook towards our body. You're going to hook onto that yarn and you're going to pull it all the way through. Underneath and through, underneath and through. Bring that hook close to yourself, underneath and through. And then you just keep on going, depending on how long you want your project to be. If you're making a scarf, you may want to do maybe 25 little chains, and then you could keep going. But however thick you want your project to be, That's how many chains you'll make. Okay, I'll do it one more time. Take the hook, go close to your body, underneath, and then pull it through. Good. So the next stitch that we are going to learn is your single crochet. So when you're done with your chain, you're going to turn your work over and you're going to work on the chains all the way back. So what we're going to do, we're going to skip that one right there, the one that the yarn's going through. Oops, right there. And we're going to work into this first chain right there. So what we're going to do is you're going to put the hook inside this chain, and you're going to grab on to the yarn. And you're going to pull it all the way through. So now you should have 2 little loops on your crochet hook. Then you're going to grab on to the yarn and just pull it right through. So then we'll do it again. Go into our hook or into our chain. And pull up. Okay. So we'll try to do it this way so you're facing it. So we'll go into the chain, grab on to the hook, to the yarn with your hook. You're going to pull that yarn through the hole. So you have 2 little loops on your hook. Then you're going to pull your yarn through. Do a couple more real quick. Go through that again. We'll put our hook through the chain, grab on to the yarn with your hook, pull it through. So you have your 2 loops on your chain and on your hook, and then pull it right through. Put it in. Hook the yarn, pull it through, then pull it through again. Put the hook through the chain, grab onto the yarn and pull it through. So you have your 2 loops on your chain, on your hook. Then you'll grab onto the yarn and pull it through. I'm just going to finish to the end so I can show you how to turn your work. Okay, I'm at the end of my chain and I've got my row of single crochets. So if you want to do your single crochets on the way back, you're just going to chain 1 and you're going to turn your work, and you'll do the single crochets all the way back. You'll start in this first loop right there and do the same thing all the way down. So then you can keep continuing that as far as you want to go. You could, create a blanket or a scarf or anything you want with just that single crochet. But I'm going to take you a step further than we actually got in our lesson, and I'm going to show you a double crochet. For anybody who is got that single crochet down and you want to go do something a little bit more challenging, we're going to do a double crochet. So for this double crochet, the very first step you're going to do is you're going to wrap your yarn around the hook, and you're going to wrap it before you put it into the hole. So you're going to wrap it, and just like in your single crochet, you're going to put your hook through the hole. You're going to grab your hook, and now you see, instead of the single crochet where you had 2 loops on your hook, for the double crochet you're going to have 3 loops on your hook. 1, 2, 3. So that means you're going to have to do 2 wraps. So just like in your single crochet, you're going to wrap and you're going to pull through just 2. And now you have 2 loops on. So it's just like how you did in your single crochet. You'll grab onto the yarn and you'll pull through 2. So now you have a double crochet right there. It stands a little bit taller than your single crochet. I'll do that again. For your double crochet, you're going to wrap your hook. Then you're going to put your hook through your stitch. You're going to grab on to that yarn and pull it through. And you see that we have 3 little loops on our hook. So you're going to grab onto your yarn with your hook and you'll pull through the first 2. And then you'll pull through the second 2. And 2. Wrap, put it through, grab onto that yarn, pull through 1, pull through 2. Go through that slowly one more time. So we'll wrap your yarn around your hook, and you'll put your hook through one of your stitches. Then you're going to grab on to that yarn and pull it through. So you have your 3 little loops on your hook. Then you'll grab on to your yarn, you'll pull through 1, and you'll pull through 2. There you go. And there are a bunch of other different stitches that you can do when you're crocheting as well. So there's something that goes in between a single and a double, and that's just a half double. So a half double will start off the way that you would start a double. So wrap it, put it through, pull it through, and then instead of pulling through the first 2, you'll just pull through all 3. And that makes a stitch that's a size in between the single crochet and the double crochet. I'll do a couple more of those. So we'll wrap it, we'll put it through our stitch, pull it through, and then you still have your 3 little hooks like you would on your double crochet, but for half double crochet we don't want it as tall. We don't want the stitches tall, so we'll just pull through all 3 at the same time. And you can kind of see the difference in here. You have our tiny single crochets right here. We have our taller double crochets right here. And then we go into our half double crochets right there. I'll do a couple more half doubles real quick. Wrap, put it through just like we did with our double crochet. And then we'll just pull it through all 3. All right, I'm going to do just a couple singles right here to take us to the end. All right, so you can see the different sizes in the stitches. We have our shorter ones, our taller ones, and our medium ones. So the very last thing I'm going to teach you is just your basic slip stitch. And a slip stitch you're going to use when you're you don't want to add any height to your row, or if you're joining a row, if you're doing anything in the round, you want to join one side to the other, you'll just want to do a slip stitch. And that's kind of like your single crochet, except for you do one less wrap. So when you're doing a slip stitch, you're just going to put your hook through the stitch and you'll pull it, that loop, through the other loop. So there isn't any other wrapping or anything with that. And that just will keep on going. If you're going to do something that has any waves in it, you'll probably use a slip stitch. If you're definitely joining it over here, if you want to do like little, mittens or socks or anything, and you start off flat, you'll want to join it over here. So I'll do one more slip stitch just to give you guys a little idea of how to do that. And it starts off just like your single crochet. You put it through your stitch and you pull it through, and instead of wrapping and pulling it through, you'll just pull that loop through the other loop. All right, and I think that's all I have to share with you today. Thank you so much for joining me in class, and I hope that this video was helpful.